Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of The Refined Lad. Today I'm going to be discussing with you guys the importance of a man and his word. And what's super interesting about this topic is today there was an event that happened, and I try so hard not to keep up on media or the news or the things that are going on, right? Just because the media that they push out, the radio that they push out, everything has a frequency. I might do a video on that in the future. Everything has a frequency. And these frequencies are made to disrupt us, right? To cause certain emotions or physical disturbances within our body that cause us to react in a certain manner and track with these frequencies. So you have this event that happened today in Russia. And it's really interesting because it always seems like when a political conflict happens, the U.S. denies any involvement. In fact, the U.S. not only denies any involvement, but the U.S. says it's another country. It's standard playbook. Without getting too political, essentially, Russia and Ukraine, we know, have been having tension. Well, somebody today went under a large body of water and released the pipeline for gas in Russia. So the pipeline for gas was leaked into Russian waters, and they're now saying that it's sabotage. A lot of people, for those of you who are unaware, should be conscious of the fact that there are people in this world, the military-industrial complex, that sole goal is for sheer profit and greed. You saw this in the Vietnam War. So I'm not going to go any more into it. I just recommend that you guys look into the Gulf of Tonkin and what that escalated into. So I'm not saying this to scare anybody or get anybody riled up or to become super political. I'm coming on here because it has specifically to do with what I'm teaching you guys today. And that is the importance of a man's word. All too often over the years, there has been so many broken promises from politicians, celebrities, institutions, religious organizations, perpetuating this gigantic lie. So I'm going to give you 101, right, on how a man should keep his word and how a man's word operates. You might have heard the common saying, a man's word is his bond. That is 1000% true. It is everything that he is. It represents his moral character, it represents his integrity, and it represents his reputation. Simply put, if a man is unable to meet the demands of a promise that somebody has asked him to make, he should not make a vow or say he will get it done. Now, there's some of us, including myself, that when we're given a task, it gets done, but it doesn't get done within the time frame that people are expecting. And that's something that we should all try to work on. It may not get done exactly in that time, but I will get it done. So what happens when a man doesn't deliver on his word is he has clearly demonstrated that he lacks integrity. Now, this is assuming that this has happened multiple times. Like if somebody says, oh, hey, I'll meet you at 8 o'clock, and they can't make it at 8 o'clock, and they show up at 8:10, you can't just be like, oh, I'll cut you off. Nope, you can't be a part of my life. I cut you off. You're 5-10 minutes late. Okay, that's not what I'm discussing. What I'm discussing is that this person has shown a perpetual pattern, like of consistency, of always being flaky, always not delivering, always words with no action, never backing themselves up. You cannot trust somebody who does not back their words up with the same actions ever. That is not somebody you want to share a relationship with. That is not somebody you want to get into a marriage with. That is not somebody that you want to go to war with. Am I making myself clear? Now, granted, we are much more civilized nowadays, but I'm going to tell you how it was done in the wild, wild west. So I'm going to tell you guys how it used to be. Now let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West, a state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. Alright, no, I'm just kidding. But this is what happened in the Wild West. They were strung up. Bro, we put them on a noose and we hung those boys high. Colonial era, executed by firing squads. In Spanish countries, they were exiled from their country. They were never allowed to come back for fear of death. Medieval times were the most primitive, right? minus probably prehistoric times. I mean, obviously prehistoric times take the cake. In France, they were drawn, meaning they were behind a horse being pulled on the ground to the gallows. They were strung up or they were beheaded, and then the cherry on top was the horse would take the person and pull all four limbs in different directions with different horses. Now, I'm not sharing this as a call to violence or anything crazy like that. What I'm sharing this is to show back in the past, hundreds of years ago, even in the 40s, we did not tolerate the kind of lies that have been perpetuating the media, that have been perpetuating our society, that are given from people who feel as if they're more superior. So what changed? We became more civilized, as I had shared. But weak men of moral lack infiltrated noble positions within the government, infrastructures, businesses, you name it. Any place of power these people went through, these weak men, and they conditioned society to accept the standard of deceit, lies, and betrayal. Essentially nowadays, it's nothing if you're flaky. People will not call you out on their behavior unless you're me or you're subscribed to this channel. Which, by the way, hit the notification bar. I release videos every Tuesday. Leave a comment if you like what you see, and we can discuss. One of the most important quotes that I saw a little bit ago was that if a man stands for nothing, he will fall for anything. Anything he's told, anything he's shown. He's not going to have a backbone. So what is this? Why am I discussing this? Why is this so important? Because you see every day, in your everyday interactions, people with broken promises, people who don't deliver, people who are untrustworthy, people who have malicious intentions. Now, I personally believe there's more good than evil in this world. But the change starts within us. We have to make the choice not to be like these people and to stand up for things that we do believe in. So if you're flaky, that is a lack of integrity. I think especially with us as men, we tolerate a lot from the boys, and especially women, that it's like, oh, I couldn't come. Oh, I couldn't do this. Oh, we made plans. Oh, last minute, let me cancel on you. So for those of you who know your worth, let flaky people continue to do what they do best. Because I have no issue cutting you out of my social circle. If you aren't bearing fruit, I'm cutting you out of my social circle. Lately, this channel has been progressing and growing more and more. And as that happens, we need to eliminate any distractions, anything that is causing us to falter to our past self. We are no longer there anymore, ladies and gentlemen. We are leveling up day by day, but we are leveling up. We have got to stop tolerating bad behavior and people that don't deliver. Perfect example, you have a business meeting and let's say you're an architect, you have a business meeting, you're meeting with a number of executives to propose an idea for construction. You have engineers, you have architects, you have planners, you have the financiers, and you're all sitting along a table, and the man who is heading this project shows up 15 minutes late. Doesn't even let anybody know he's going to be late, doesn't say anything, doesn't apologize, just walks right in. Now some of you might think, oh, that's the kind of power that I hope to attain. I hope to be able to walk in anytime and people won't call me out. That's the wrong attitude. If he's asking everybody to be there 15 minutes, right? If he's asking everybody to be there at a specific time, let's say 8 o'clock in the morning, this man is there, and this dude shows up at 8:15, he is setting the precedent for everybody that is there. Not only is he going to decrease the respect that others had for him, but it's going to make him look bad because it makes him look like he doesn't care about what he's heading. If he's a visionary and this is what he wants to do, he'll be there on time. Because especially us as men, we make time for the important things in our life. Cold hard truth right there. We make time for the most important things in our life. So it all comes back to the word, right? A man and his word. How many broken up families have resulted in a man not keeping his word? How many foster children have multiplied in the homes because a man couldn't keep his word? How many churches, how many colleges, how many governmental structures have fallen because a man would not keep his word? I'm not saying we're the arbiters of truth, but I am saying we have a duty that is different from women, where we are supposed to be upholding moral integrity and righteousness, and we are held to a higher standard when it comes to truth. How many generational curses have been put on a family line because a man wouldn't keep his word? I ask you to ponder this. If all else fails and you don't want to do something that somebody has told you to do, you have two choices, right? You can just listen to them and go along with it. Or you can say a big magical word that spells no. No, I will not do that. No, I'm not interested. And I think too many guys are so scared. This is what I talk about at Backbone. If you're trying to sell me a product, and let's say I have, bro, if you're trying to sell me a product, let's say it's a magic cleaner. Okay, this stuff cleans off anything you could imagine. It cleans off spray paint with one spray. It cleans off chemical stains with one spray. And I have 50 cents in my pocket, and I have $20 in my pocket, and you're trying to sell it to me for 50, and then you keep on cutting down, and you're like, all right, $20. Bro, if $20 is all I have to live off of, no, I'm not buying no magic cleaner, bro. Kick it to the curb. Sell your magic cleaner to somebody else. Go knock on some other doors. I'm not interested. And I think too many people think that that's rude, but it's a boundary. If you never say no to anything in life, you are always going to end up doing somebody else's work. If you never say no, you're never going to do anything beneficial for yourself. You're going to be sitting there 80 wondering why you didn't do what you wanted to do, all because other people told you how to do things, and you could never stand up for yourself and say no. They had me working 16 24-hour shifts when I was a CNA, which I'm pretty sure is illegal where I was working. And you know what I told them? I said, no, I've worked this many shifts. They threatened to write me up. Go ahead, write me up. I'm not going to work that. I was starting to get sick and have all these issues. I'm not going to work that. I'm not going to jeopardize my health. So you always have a choice as a man. You can say, yes, I believe in truth. Yes, this is what I want to stand up for. Yes, this is what I'm passionate about. Or you can say, no. No, I will not do that. No, I'm not like that. No, I'm not. Fill in the blank. You can play ad-libs with this. But we have got to learn that we as men are held to a higher standard. But the women always get off scot-free in your videos. I call out women too. If you guys don't look at my other videos, that's on you. I'm speaking directly to the men. And if you are one of those just right now complaining about women, you are the issue. You have two balls, pull them up, pull your big boy pants, and get to work. Nobody's going to save you. It's time to put the work in yourself if you want to see change. If you don't want to see change, continue blaming the rest of the world just like these other politicians. Oh, it's their fault. How about you stop being a 5-year-old and pull your big boy pants up on and get to work? Stay frosty.